Hi, I'm Julia Alexander, and we are completing our roundup of City Council at large candidates. I happen to have with me today Mr. Isiah Williams. We're going to speak with Isiah. We're going to find out his platform and find out what he plans to do for you, the citizens of Joliet. Hi, Ike. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for having me today.
Okay, thank you for doing the interview with us. Do what's right, vote for Ike. And let's go straight into telling my listening audience, Ike. First, let's talk about you, where you grew up at, where you went to school. Let the citizens know about Ike.
Sure. Well, I am a lifelong resident of the city of Joliet. Started out going to Catholic schools down at Sacred Heart, and then St. Mary Carmelite, then over to St. Pat's Grade School, and went on down to Joliet Catholic, JCA, and it was JCH.
Okay. Yeah.
And I graduated from Joliet Central. After that, I went out west and studied political science at Oregon State University, where I received a Bachelor of Science degree in political science, and on to the University of San Diego, where I did a legal assistance program there, where I'm a certified paralegal and owner of Williams Paralegal Service of over 30 years.
Wow, wow. Okay, so tell me, Ike, what decided to make you run for this position?
That was literally a no-brainer with being how I feel about this city and being a product of it, and just I'm not seeing to where we are living up to, or our council is not living up to what I know to be the city of champions, and seeing the current divide and discord. I think that I'm going to be that person that's going to bring that voice of reason. I'm sure you don't undo things overnight, but I think that when things just really make sense, and you're looking at the facts, and you make sure that everyone else is looking at the facts, and being transparent about it.
Okay. Well, give me an example. What would you propose to bring our council on an even keel, on one accord?
Yes, and that's a great question. Thank you for asking. It's what I would say is that you have to take away this side or that side. When you're drawing lines down, like I'm going to vote this way because a certain person wants you to vote this way, or even on the other side of it, to where this entity and that entity, you're not going to get a whole lot done. So politics is a funny game, but at the same time, there's compromise. If you are truly looking at the other side of what this, and most importantly, how is this going to affect the citizens of Joliet, then the common ground comes right there. If you are truly looking in your heart of hearts and saying, I am representing the people that put me in this seat, and I'm going to do their will, then it's going to be where we're going to have a healing process going on.
Okay, so you have lived in Joliet, born and raised in Joliet all your life. What's your passion?
I'm passionate about people, okay? And I'm also very passionate about our youth and their involvement of what we're leaving them, and the concept of how they can become involved. You've seen with the last election, presidential election, that the grassroots, everybody got involved, and that was just beautiful to see. And I'm saying that even though this is historically an election that does not get a heavy turnout, I believe we're going to see a different thing this time, because we have waking up the people of Joliet and this country, and letting them know that their vote and their voice counts.
It does matter. It does matter. Well, so Isiah, you know that where there's progress, there's regress, and we do have progress and regress with the infrastructure, with the semi-trucks and all that stuff. So give me your take on, I believe that we're probably going to have more warehouses coming in, more trucks. North Point is coming in, and that's going to put more wear and tear on our streets. Give me your take on that.
Well, it's yeah, I definitely have an opinion on that. I had the privilege of sitting in on a Zoom meeting last night that where the Will County Black Chamber, excuse me, the Will County Black Caucus hosted a forum where we had the new Speaker of the House, Mr. Welch, and the new President of Governor State, Ms. Cherry, and it was very interesting in regards to that. I had a question that I didn't get the chance to pose to him, but I wanted to know how, number one, can we forge a better relationship with the state of Illinois in regards to the city of Joliet and Will County. They have particular issues that are ongoing every day here. Number one, our bridges. Number two, our Highway 80.
Yes.
Okay. So and we're always passing the buck. That's IDOT. That's IDOT. That's this. So where can we come and find a common ground and get what we need done here? Because I can see that the people are very unhappy, and I am. Where it takes you 45 minutes to an hour around 5 o'clock to get from the east side to the far west side. And if one bridge is out, two bridges are out, oh my God, you have a bottleneck all through the whole city. But even more so, dealing with Highway 52 out there near where you live, that is a nightmare and will continue to be a nightmare. I am also with expansion, but I am also 100% with transparency. Okay. And I feel that if we really would listen to the people that put us in office, the constituents, and hear their voice, and if it's something that we feel that is good for the city, be transparent and make it known, and let the voters know why. I forget the old saying that you get more honey with bees than okay, whatever, something like that. I don't know.
More bees than with honey.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm full of those old ones. But my thing is this: if the city would have got with IDOT and first expanded Highway 52 and knowing that Highway 80 is already a mess, and then we were on track for the bridge, for the new bridge, and they've made, and I sat in on the meetings with IDOT and the neighborhood that is just directly affecting with Highway 80. If they would have expanded that and to where the trucks could, function. Now it's just a deadlock thing, and then I feel for the people who are directly affected that live out there. Right. I remember being a kid and taking a Sunday drive out there, where all the cornfields and everything else, but and is the racetrack going to be there anymore? So that's revenue that we're losing. But if you have done that first, you do what needs to be done first, then it's a smaller pill for the people who may have been against this to swallow. But at the same time, if you're hearing a resounding voice of saying no, not in my backyard, enough's enough, then that's what that's who votes us in the office. Absolutely. So that's exactly what we should be listening to. Absolutely. Another thing along with that infrastructure is that what I do and how will we handle this is that the city of Joliet needs a what I would call a long-term revitalization plan. Okay, not just you have to think 30 years ahead. This water thing is hitting us over the head, but at the same time, we knew it was coming. There has been everything from out there for that third airport to this is nothing new. But as city council at large, I'm not just going to, like I said, I want to be the city council person that is going to listen to everyone. You're going to be able to call me and say, hey, this is my issue. This is what I'm saying. And I'm going to project what my constituents' voice is out to the council. And that's how we have to make things work together. Not going to be an easy job. People say, you got to be crazy, Ike. Okay? But yeah, maybe I am. Because I feel passionate about doing this.
Yeah, well, nothing worth having is easy.
Right.
Nothing worth having ever comes by easy. So give me some more take on some of the issues that we have. But before you do, let's talk about our the transparency with the police.
Yes.
And do you think that the police should be defunded?
Oh, absolutely not. I do not think that the police can be defunded, because what's going to be the outcome of that is going to be chaos. Okay, and at the same time, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So what I'm saying is that you're going to have to find a happy medium. I believe in police integrity. I believe in the reform in regards to how we approach policing. One of the big advocates, I'm going to be a big advocate of neighborhood policing. We had a really good neighborhood policing program some 15, 20 years ago that well, longer and faster than that. Number one, that we knew who our neighborhood police were, and we interacted with them. They knew who we were, and we didn't get away with much of anything.
Not much.
Okay? All right, it's just like being raised by a village. Okay, but at the same time, there were programs that were like the Police Athletic League, and that the officer friendly. I can just think of all of those different things that where the money has been changed over or moved around and put into putting more police officers on the streets rather than that. So also I believe in extra training, sensitivity training. The whole idea of a young person coming up and being scared of a police officer, that shouldn't be, because they should know that this police officer is going to treat them with dignity and respect.
Right.
But
do you think
but there's bad
wear,
people and there's good people.
You're right about that. Do you think they should wear body cams?
Absolutely, I believe that, and I was seriously disappointed in the fact that the city chose tasers over body cams. Body cams have been an outcry for the whole country, and especially in sense of all these different things that are prevalent in our headlines every day now. With that being said, so body cameras, they keep everyone even. You see what's going on. You react, and being a police officer is not an easy job by any stretch of the means. And they have to make split decisions, but you use your training not to take a person down. You use your training for de-escalation. So to be able to identify that if a person is dealing with a mental health issue, all these things here that end up going bad, and did it really have to happen that way? So I think that money should be well spent in that regard. Now, I take my hat off to what a police officer has to deal with every day, but I also want to not believe the fact that a person that gets pulled over and for whatever reason it goes bad or sour and a life is lost. One of the programs that I was able to coordinate with the black detectives some time ago when I worked at Joliet Job Corps. And I seen a need, because I was dealing with at-risk youth from 16 years old to all the way to 24 years old, and most of them coming from the city of Chicago and Aurora and all these other outlying areas, but they were coming to the Job Corps Center. But sooner or later, we're teaching them how to go get a job and how to be functional in society, but at the same time, they always had to go back home where there was an issue. So I reached out to the detectives, Carlos Matlock and some of the other officers, and they agreed to come out and speak directly to the whole student body of over 350 students at Joliet Job Corps. It was great. It was great. You know, of course, the kids are, but at the end of the day, we reached some of them.
Absolutely.
And it was all about know your rights. Know your rights. Know what happens when a police officer pulls you over.
Absolutely.
Knowing how to interact, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Okay? And some of the kids afterwards, they said, "Hey, Mr. Williams, thanks for putting that together." You know, a lot of the kids acted like they didn't get it, but I think it did. And we did it a couple more times after. And so those are the kind of things that we have to think outside the box, and we got to see we're not only what's going on here for our adults and our seniors, okay, but also what's coming up for the youth of today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So give me your take on our schooling, our school situation. You know, that's a big problem. So many children, especially teenagers, have just, dropped out altogether. They're not registered, they're not signing up, they don't have the computers, they're lost out there.
Right.
So give me your take on that.
Well, I'd like to blame it all on the pandemic, but this has been a systematic thing that's been going on for quite a long time. I was blessed that my father, working hard in the steel mills on Collins Street for 33 years, just to make sure that myself and my three sisters had a better opportunity at education, and we grabbed it every day. There was no other choice in the matter.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, but with that being said, you see a lot of opportunities and being squandered. All right. Kids right now, they're literally burnt out in regards to the homeschooling there, as far as the computers and all. And is it equally proportionate? Are all these students getting the same chance at getting the same education to go and be? And then what is the alternative? Counseling, this and that, to really see in depth. All right. So what is the solution? Well, it's. I think there has to be more of an outreach. And it really has to be more of an assessment of each and every student, public school or private, to see where is a student's strong points versus, everybody's not built for college. Some would do better in a trade school. But way back at Joliet Central, you could work on cars, and have your cars painted, and
wood shop, everything,
the whole nine. And once again, all of those programs are non-existent in schools now. And why? Because school is education, and education is finding your niche. Your niche in the world, your niche is how you're going to provide for your family, all of that. So when you take one entity of that, I tried every sport in America, including playing the drums, but I finally found my way through basketball. But that whole idea of being able to make that choice, okay, or have
an array of options,
right?
And they're not there. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about what you would like to bring to our city, what you would like to see accomplished. Well,
yes, I probably won't be getting a whole lot of sleep through this, but I'm up for it. Okay. There's the thing about being the city councilman at large is that you have to address not just the issues of one side of town versus the other. You have to be ready to address all of the city of Joliet and be equal, responsible person that is going to address everyone's issues. I want to say that issues of our citizens that are far west side are different than the ones to the lower west side, or east side, or the north side near Collins Street, and that's okay, because there's different issues. North Point is not a concern of the people near as far as west as our borderline of Kendall County, But at the same time, there are issues that are concerning there. They want to make sure that their neighborhoods are safe and they continue to be safe. And that at the same time that their student kids have a clear pathway to school and affordable housing, and at the same time to make sure that everyone has a chance to make an equitable wage to be able to to survive.
Right.
One of the things that I really don't like is that, well, I won't say don't like, but I say would do differently, is the fact that the way that we handle these contracts that we give to these companies to come in here and do business. Okay. I'll take Amazon. Amazon does great and does a lot of things, and they employ a lot of people. But at the same time, here we are. We give a lot of money as a tax break for them to come here, over $10 million or so. But at the same time, most of the employees out there do not live in the city of Joliet. And I have a problem with that.
Yes.
And the reason why is that if we're giving you a tax break, we're looking for a return on those tax dollars. And I feel that those tax dollars should be spent here, not East Indiana, not back to Chicago, where people are coming that far away to go to work. Everybody needs to make a wage.
Absolutely.
But I think that we need to take care of our backyard there.
Absolutely.
The other thing that I would address is the food desert on the east side of Joliet, which is, there used to be a Jewel, there used to be every big box store on the east side. A&P. I know it personally. I even saved the A&P, I'm dating myself again, the A&P stamps. And my dad, he could have bought me a bike, but he showed me how to save. So every time my mother went to the store, the A&P little stamps, I had to fill the books out. So finally, when I finally got done, I got enough for my bike. And I even had some left over that I got goggles and fins.
Wow.
And I was the only kid at the Joliet Boys Club with goggles and fins in the pool. True story, yes. So, but there is a definite need. And I do also, now don't get me wrong, I also believe in the strong sense of what we have, and we can expound on that and make that more plentiful for everyone. The Spanish, Hispanic stores, and they got a really good variety of food and everything, but at the same time, I think everyone should have a choice of what they need and what they want. And so, how would I go about doing that? I would get together or propose a marketing team, similar to when we did a nationwide search for a city manager.
All right.
We looked far and wide, so we would make a team so that we would know that we would make a creative marketing team, so that we would propose and get out there and find and search and show these stores why they need to come here.
Absolutely.
Show that we are growing. Show that they will get a bang for their buck by coming back. Okay?
Well, talking with and listening to other people, some are saying, well, we have enough people here with the means and the knowledge to go and approach someone to bring our own store in. However, I thought about that. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. However, when a store comes in, they're going to come in and they're going to market the place. They're going to look at the needs in the place, and unfortunately, we are not the majority over here in this area anymore. And then the tax dollars, the tax base.
Right, and yes, you're right, and that goes to specialty stores. The Hispanic community is the minority in the area, and they're well spoken in regards of grocery stores per capita for the Hispanic community. But at the same time, I like a choice
Okay.
in my when I go. You
Okay.
know, when the wife are out deciding what we're going to cook for dinner, you know, if we're going to go here, we know this place has the best of this, or
Right.
this place has the best of that.
Yeah.
Especially being in California for a while, where you know, and you're downtown. What is that? The farmers market.
Farmers market,
So yeah, you know, and you just want to be able to have
Yeah.
choices.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And right now, I don't feel that the taxpayers of the city of Joliet have as many choices as they deserve.
Okay.
We are the third largest city in Illinois.
That's true.
Over 100, almost 159,000
That is
people.
true.
So we really deserve a variety.
Well, that's that area of balancing things out and
Yeah.
transparency and
Right.
all those other things. It all falls up under that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you tell anyone that seeks to run for this position or any position? What would you tell them?
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Okay? It's going to be a bumpy ride. Okay? I would say, number one, that as long as you have your integrity in place, and if you're ready to put yourself out there to any scrutiny or go for it. What I also would say is that you have to be able to be a good listener. That's its criteria for it. And so and a lot of this is just not. There's more of painstaking meetings than there is headlines and glory of being a city council person.
Yeah.
And you got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
Also, I believe that if you believe in this city the way I do, and one of the things that I also always remember is that whenever you came into the city of Joliet, from whatever way that you would come into it, you were met with a sign
Yes.
that says, welcome to the city of champions. And then you would see all the accolades of Providence and Catholic High and all the local schools and how many championships and I just think about how many professionals and of every, not just sports, you know, with the arts and everything else, and that this city has produced, and it gives me a beaming pride. So I'm ready to do the work for the city, and I'm also ready to be judged however many years after, to make sure, well, did he do what he said he's going to do? If I fall short, you can believe I was trying. And at the same time, everything's not going to be done overnight. Everyone's going to tell you as a person that wants to be elected, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But at the same time, I just want to make a difference. I want to make a difference, a positive difference. Not just for one part of town or this side of town or that side of town, but for the whole city of Joliet. I think the city deserves a city councilman that is going to address and be their champion. My thing is, what are the people saying? And if you go to my website, my campaign page at electisaiahikewilliams.com, you'll see interactive, especially on my Facebook page, which is Do What's Right, Vote for Ike, on Facebook. We have something new on it every day. So I want to be the person that has this finger on the pulse of what's going on in Joliet, and I address that on my Facebook page daily. We were just talking about today, actually, my father, Isiah Sr., 92 years old, got his second vaccine shot today.
Wow.
And all the people out there, the volunteers out there at Joliet West, they were just so great. They were just like, you know, he's like a rock star when he goes there. You know? So I told him, I said, Dad, there may be a little side effect here with your second shot. You know, some people, you know, may experience this or that. He says to me, Junior, you know those shots don't bother me.
Well, I wish I could say that.
You didn't have the same experience, huh?
Right.
You know, so it's those little things like that. And then on my page, we discuss what is you know, our kids are getting back to school now. what's going on with recent decisions that the city council is making right now. I want everyone to be informed.
Yeah.
Your namesake of your show, and I want to, and I'll do it tirelessly. And like I said, go to either one of those pages. Do what's right, vote for Ike on Facebook, or elect IsiahIkeWilliams.com. And you can follow and see what my platform is more in depth. And on April 6th, I would love to have your vote. But remember, early voting is already started.
Okay, and so
February 25th.
Since we did not run down your platform, let's do that.
Okay, my platform is simple and straightforward. It is based on the needs of the city, the needs of the city, of the people of Joliet, the reform of an integrity of the police department, and the transparency of our very own city council. The work is hard, it's tough, but it is also needed. Our infrastructure is my platform. The working wages, where people can actually pay their rent, raise a child, and there's the whole idea of starting out here, getting your first apartment, couples coming together, and then also, having that dream of one day buying their home, their first
the American
home,
dream.
the American dream. All that can be here, but we have to make sure that these people are making enough money to do that. You're not going to do that, working at these small places. But also, I want to focus on small business. I want to focus on making sure that small business is getting the support that they need. I understand that, and then we have to be prudent and responsible with monies that do come back. The revenue from the gaming and all that is going to come back, but what are we going to do with it? I understand that with this relief package that's coming through, it'll trickle down through Will County, but the city of Joliet may get a nice lump sum of money too. And I want to be there to make sure that we are doing the right thing with that money. That we're not just going to just put it away for a rainy day because it's a rainy day now. Okay, that we put it in the right places and do the right thing with it.
Okay, well, it's storming over by my house, so it's not a rainy day, it's a storm. No. So Ike, it's been fantastic speaking with you. Is there anything else you'd like my listening audience to know about Isiah Ike Williams?
Well, I would like to say thank you for the outstanding and the support that I've seen and heard and getting calls from every day. It just revitalizes you, and sometimes you may get a little but once you wake up in the morning and I get this big cheer from my lovely wife, and then I'm ready to do it all over again. So I wouldn't trade it. I just want to the people of Joliet to know that you can put your trust in me, and that I'm going to be your voice in downtown city of Joliet and in the chambers.
Okay, absolutely. Speaking of downtown city of Joliet, we've been working very hard to revitalize our downtown. However, with our bridges up, it cuts off, traffic to the downtown. But I think that's going to be fixed. So what say you on the revitalization of our downtown?
Number one is that, opening up Chicago Street was a great first step. But I think it needs to be opened up both ways. I grew up downtown Joliet when we had the Rialto, the Mode, and the Princess Theater, and it was hustling and bustling. And it should have never got that bad. When the boat came in, you were supposed to feed onto those other businesses and help them strive too. And the exact opposite happened, and everything left downtown. So I would take on that project as being even on that committee in regards to bringing that Chicago street back to a hustle and bustle. It won't be where you see the old pictures where the street was just packed with
Right.
1932
Oh,
Packards and all that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I just look at those small businesses down there, and they're hanging on by a thread. So we need to get them some help.
Yeah.
We need to get them some help, you know, and then invite more businesses down there. Utilize the TIF money in a positive way. We have some really good players down there, Mr. John Bays and Mr. Petrick and all that, who are reinvesting in downtown Joliet because they know it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And I am a true believer that it's going to come back. But it's going to take a lot, and you know, and no one's looking for a handout. But you know, we need to keep the doors open of these small businesses right downtown. And you know, you look to our neighbors, you look to downtown Plainfield, you look to downtown Naperville.
Yeah.
They do well. This pandemic has knocked everyone to their knees.
Yeah.
But a solid plan in place and following it, and step by step. Another thing that I really wanted to talk about that's kind of hits home is the homeless. Okay.
Yes.
They're homeless, and it is an issue here. And you know, I go downtown and I go by the library, and you know, I've even gone down and I've spoken to some of the people down there. You know, you think of a homeless person, you think they have this problem or that problem, or you know, some people just fall on bad luck.
Right.
And in California, everyone's one missed mortgage payment from being homeless. Okay.
Right.
So we have to address that.
Yes.
You know, they are citizens, they are people, they are human beings. And I really did like the idea of what Morningstar Mission had proposed in buying the Quality Inn.
Okay.
Yes, the Quality
Inn.
Inn, purchasing that and actually housing the homeless there. I studied a model of that same type of program in Colorado, and to where it was brought to my attention that where an entity bought a hotel there and housed people homeless to stay there free, but it also went in conjunction with services. Okay. People were if they needed drug rehabilitation or if they needed job assistance or how to go get a job, medical health and all that was all included along with it. So all these other entities were in there with it. And when these people got on their feet, they didn't just get kicked out. They were able to stay in these places and pay their own way. So everyone wants that pride of coming back and being in charge of their own life. And I'm saying, oh my God, this is a excellent program, and there's we could do that here. But we have to embrace, number one, that we have these people here. They are it's an issue when you know you don't push them to the side. You address it and you deal with it. And there is humane ways on just how to do that. And I definitely would be a advocate for that.
Okay, another board you would sit on.
Exactly right. I surely would.
Wow. So once again, Isiah, it's been fantastic interviewing with you. You seem to have touched on an array of issues that we have pending right here in front of us, and giving us your idea or your thought of how you would go about, you know, coming together, working across the aisle and getting some of these things accomplished for the betterment of everyone in the city of Joliet. So once again, look into the camera and tell them to vote for Isiah Ike Williams.
Hello, my name is Isiah Ike Williams, and on April 6th, I would like to be, more than anything, your new city councilman at large. So, and parting, I would like to say, do what's right.
Vote for Ike. Hi, I'm Julia Alexander, and we are completing our roundup of City Council at Large candidates. I happen to have with me today Mr. Isiah Williams. We're going to speak with Isiah. We're going to find out his platform and find out what he plans to do for you, the citizens of Joliet. Hi, Ike. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for having me today.
Okay, thank you for doing the interview with us. Do what's right, vote
And
for
vote
Ike.
for Ike.
And let's go straight into telling my listening audience, Ike. First, let's talk about you, where you grew up at, where you went to school. Let the citizens